What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Monday, by the way. Hopefully you guys are having a good start to the week. In today's video, we got a little bit of Plarium news for you guys here today for the upcoming CVC that's happening tomorrow. Speaking of CVC, if you guys are interested, I will be streaming a CVC near the start of it. So make sure you guys drop on by on YouTube if you guys are hanging around. We'll be super chill. It's going to be a non-personal reward CVC, so we'll just be taking it easy. All right. Without further ado, let's jump into it. I'm going to break it down into two separate slides here. So first up, we have right here above my head. So this is going to be day one. On Tuesday, September 9th, they're going to be launching a progressive event. So 15x chance to summon the champions of your choice from the bottom pool. So first we got Elva Autumnborn, Grand Oak Podrick, Nekmothar, Mighty Uko, and Morgaine for the non-voids. For the voids, we got Senna, Amberheart, Lady Noelle, Yasenza, Grail Bearer. Now, these are really solid champions. All of these are really good. Some of these are actually exceptional champions. So let's quickly touch upon them here. So first we got Elva Autumnborn. So she's going to be a pretty familiar face. A lot of you guys might see these from the comeback kind of deals. Sometimes she's offered for about 20 bucks to try to bring you guys back into the game if you guys were out of the game for a little bit. She got the A1 continuous heal. She got an 3-turn full team cleanse with the block debuffs, increased speed, and then she has a single target revive. She has a passive that places veil, which is very annoying, and then she has speed in all battles. Pretty good champion, good base speed, a little bit low on the base HP, but very good carry, especially early on in the game. I still use my Elva for my Chimera teams. She's very good in Chimera. The next champion we have is Grand Oak Podrick. He was offered as a I believe a Hero's Path guarantee last St. Patty's Day or 2 St. Patty's Days ago. Quite expensive champion, but he's actually really good. He's actually a champion that I kind of underestimated in the beginning. He brings a nice speed in dungeons. It's got a little bit underestimated, but the best spot for Podrick is actually Fire Knight, where he can help you out with the speed in dungeons and Fire Knight. And he brings the the A2 ally attack here. Now it's a full team ally attack, which is a little bit on the unique side, so it's really strong. He's got an A1 here that's a little bit underappreciated. He has a 50% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random ally skill by 2 turns. So this can be very impactful, especially against, especially with a team with champions with very powerful abilities. And then he has an A3 here that fills the turn meter, and it's a full team cleanse with an increased speed. But his passive is actually really good as well. At the start of his turn, he also places all of these corresponding buffs on the champions of the corresponding types. So you can kind of be assured that your attack-based champion will get an increased attack buff from Podrick. So very strong champion, very versatile, very good in a lot of areas. He's going to be up for grabs. Up next, we have Nekmothar from the Lizardman. Also a guarantee at one point. I believe he was somewhere around 15 or 16 or maybe even 14 Sacred Shards back in the day. One of the earlier guarantee Sacred Shard champions from several years ago. Excellent champion, basically built for PvE content, PvE bosses. But you can also even use him for arena teams. He brings a speed in all battles. He's got a turn meter boost, increased speed, big turn meter boost here. He's got a decreased speed, leech, and an A1 decreased attack. Now he has 2 AoEs as well. Very strong champion for like a speed booster. Brings relevant debuffs for Hydra, brings relevant debuffs for Chimera. Very good champion. He's going to be up for grabs as well. Up next, we have Mighty Uko from the Skinwalkers. Now, this is a really strong champion. Was a fusion at one point, one of the best fusions of all time. Maybe a bit forgotten now since there have been better fusions. But when Uko came out, he was absolutely insane. He's got the speed in all battles here. He's got an A1 AoE decrease attack. He's got an A2 that strips and places block buffs and a decreased attack. And he's got a full team revive here with the block damage and increased speed. You can actually use the increased speed on your team without having to revive anybody, which is kind of nice for flexibility. Obviously not great value on a 4-turn cooldown. And he has a passive here that's actually really interesting. He has a 50% chance of stealing a random buff from the random enemy when they place a buff. So he can be super annoying. He's actually used in Platinum Defense at some point in his lifetime of this game. So people were putting him in like stun sets and all that stuff, and he was just being absolutely annoying, especially with the steel buff passive here. So at one point he was good enough to be in platinum level defenses, but of course not anymore. But still a great champion, great hard carry for the Skinwalker faction. So if you have him, congratulations. And then lastly, for the non-voids here, we got Morgaine. I believe she was a faction. I believe she was a fusion, I believe, at one point. A Halloween fusion at one point. She's going to be up for grabs as well. She has a speed in all battles. Aura. Passive here is actually one of the most interesting parts of her kit. She passively places this heal reduction on the enemy with the lowest HP, and it cannot be removed, transfer, spread, or have its duration increase or decrease by enemies or allies. It's a very interesting passive that's found its used against Amius, actually. So otherwise, she's a really solid turn meter booster here. She got a 4-turn increase speed with a turn meter fill, as well as a turn meter pushback. And then she has a 3-turn strip here with the chance to place fear. Got an A1 decreased speed as well. So pretty solid champion. I think she doesn't get as much love outside of Amius, but she's actually a very, very solid champion. 112 base speed as well, so that's very, very high. So she rounds out the non-voids here. As for the voids, we got some pretty good champions here coming in with Senna Amberheart first. And yeah, she is void dwarf here. She's got speed in all battles. She got the team revive with a very cool mechanic where that when they get revived, they join in on an ally attack. And then she has an increased speed, continuous heal, and a turn meter fill on a 3-turn cooldown. This is very powerful. And her A1 instantly triggers a continuous heal. Now this synergizes really well with her passive, because whenever a continuous heal is activated, it fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%. So if she's continuously doing A1s and placing continuous heals, she's going to be continuously putting turn meter fill on your whole team. So very powerful champion for boosting turn meter for your team. Has shown her real value in Chimera and now Hydra. Giving your team lots and lots of turns. 113 base speed here is super nice. She is a little bit of a prize here as well. A lot of teams do tons of damage with her, but she's not completely necessary. Not completely necessary, but she is pretty busted in areas like Chimera. After that, we have Lady Noelle, was our most recent Christmas fusion. Where is she? She is here. Actually, really solid. One of the best revives in the game here with a 3-turn AoE revive and a CC as well. This is really strong. You can use this without reviving anybody, so it's a 3-turn AoE freeze. She's got the big speed in arena battles here. She's got an A1 block buffs, and then she has an A2 cleansing sheep with the increased speed on the whole team. But the biggest draw for her is going to be her A3 here with the big CC and full revive here. Very, very nice ability from Lady Noelle. And then the last champion here on this list is Incenza Grail Bearer. So I actually have Incenza Grail Bearer. She's actually really, really nice. Super solid champion here. 110 base speed, bringing accuracy in all battles. She's got a 3-turn AoE decreased defense and weaken. Cannot be, stopped by block debuffs, which is really nice. Got an A1 decreased attack AoE. But her big draw here is her unique A2. She brings a bunch of buffs on her A2 on a 3-turn cooldown, and then she brings 50% turn meter. Like, keep in mind, Lamassu brings 50% turn meter as well. So Grail Bearer here, you can definitely use her as a big speed booster. And then, of course, you can bring the AoE decreased defense and weaken as well. I do use her in my Titus team. I put her in a 9-piece protection set, so when she places all these buffs, it's just straight damage on Titus, and then Titus can slam lot harder. But yeah, she's really, really solid. Definitely hard carrying in a lot of areas. Keep in mind that her A1 actually is not just an AoE decreased attack. It actually has the ally join in for big hits as well. So really powerful champion to boost up your team's damage. So she rounds out day 1 here. From the list, I'm going to say for the non-voids, there's a couple really good ones here, but I'm thinking if you have literally none of these champions, I would say Necmo Thar probably fits into the most teams, to be honest. And I would say Senna Amberheart is probably the biggest draw from the voids. Although Grail Bearer could be really good too, depending where you are in the game. That's going to be day 1. Let's move on quickly to day 2 here. All right, so here we go on day 2. Similar situation here. We still have a 15x progressive event. First off, for the non-voids, we have Freya Fate Weaver here. She was the guaranteed deck of fate from the Asgard Divide event last summer. Excellent champion. I do have her. Yeah, aesthetically, she looks awesome. Nice base speed here, 110. Good base stats overall, defense in all battles. She's got an A1 AoE provoke, low chance, so don't rely on this, but it's really nice. She actually hits pretty hard too, and this is her only enemy hitting ability. She got an A2 here on 3-turn cooldown, increased defense, and a big shield. Now this shield is going to be massive because she places increased defense on herself before placing the shield, which is really, really nice. So no setup needed. And then her A3 here, a 3-turn cooldown, full team cleanse, block debuffs, and a nice turn meter fill here for 20%. And she has a passive here, which is super nice. She boosts up her defense as well as an active effect that prevents the death of the ally with the highest crit damage, and it gives them an instant turn. It's very, very powerful, and if you're not aware of it, it's going to be sneaky and yeah, going to result in the loss of your team, I'm sure. She actually hits pretty hard, like I said. But you can use her as a full like turn meter booster because she comes in, she can cut in, cleanse off debuffs, and then turn meter boost. So you can put her in like supersonic, you can make her really fast, or you can make her as a nuker and she can nuke stuff. Very versatile champion, very good, fits into a lot of teams. And yeah, she's just really, really strong. After Freya, we have Balor the Lost. So Balor the Lost was one of the most recent hero path guarantees. He was featured in a hero's path along his soul. I believe he was 20 sacred shards worth of points to get him. Balor Lost here. Really high base attack here, bringing accuracy in all battles. He is a damage dealer, but he brings a ton of debuffs. His A1 got poison sensitivity. His A2's got leech, as well as a poison activator. And then his A3 here has increased accuracy, decreased resistance, and placing poisons. Now, you're probably going to build him up with full crit rate. So you're always going to be landing these 3 poisons on all enemies as well. So you're probably can use him in wave content, similar to how you gear out Tomb Lord. You gear out Tomb Lord with full crit rate, so then he can land more poisons. Similar here with Balor the Lost. But his main role is probably going to be in Chimera. He brings a lot of relevant debuffs to handle a lot of the trials, as well as a little bit of damage. So pretty cool champion here with Balor the Lost. Up next, for the non-voids, we have White Queen and Cora from the Night Revs. She was a fusion, I believe, two Valentine's Days ago. Very good champion. I actually use her without Narses. She does have a big partner bonus with King Narses. Narses is really good. But Ancora is really good by herself as well. So 111 base speed here, good base stats, got speed in all battles, got an A1, chance to decrease cooldown of a random ability by 2 turns, very, very strong. Similar to Podrick that we just covered in the earlier day. Got a 3-turn AoE cleanse with the shield and a little bit of a turn meter fill. But her big thing is her single target revive here with the full skill reset and good turn meter. Can sneak up on you if you kill the wrong champion at the wrong time, and then she has a revive ready and revive the nuker, and then your whole team goes down. Also has a passive here, which kind of gets not a lot of love, but it's actually really strong. Whenever an enemy tries to place any of the hard CC stuff on an ally with the highest crit damage, transfer those to Ancora. So Ancora can passively protect your strongest nuker, basically giving them a chance to blow up the enemy team. So very, very good champion here. White Queen and Cora. Up next, we have Under Priest Brogni here. Brogni was a fusion again, Christmas fusion, maybe from 4 years ago. Was probably one of the hardest fusions at that time. He's got an A1 HP burn. He's got an A3 3-turn cooldown here. AoE attack has a chance to basically increase the shields big time if you can get Brogni to do lots of damage. Problem with Brogni is that it's very hard to get him to do a lot of damage because his damage is based on attack. And his base attack is very low. So, but if you can get him to hit really hard, he has a chance to increase shields bigly. Got an A3 here with the 3-turn cooldown block, debuffs, increase attack, and a shield. Very solid ability, actually, especially for a clan boss. And a passive here that passively deals damage to the enemy when they attack the shields. Also brings a little bit of healing as well. Brogni is really good for a general progression, really strong for clan boss, can be a booster for shield growth teams, but it's much harder to build him out to hit super hard and then have him grow the shield super fast, but it's possible. Otherwise, he's a very strong carry, very good for faction wars and all that, but good champ is going to be available there on day 2. And then afterwards, we have Ultimate Death Knight rounding out the non-voids, Undead Horde. Ultimate Death Knight, where are you? I love this guy. Free login champion at some point, a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago. Incredible champion, especially for a free champion back in the day. Got this passive here that increases his stats for every dead ally. He's got a passive here that heals him. And then the big thing is, of course, all of the single hit redirects go right into him. So very popular build for like arena settings is like you just pair him up with, full stone skin set with no speed, and then just let him take all the single target hits. He soaks them all up. He can heal up. He has boosted stats. He's got an A1 provoke, which is a little bit annoying. He's got an A2 AoE decreased attack with some fear, and then he's got a little bit of a shield and continuous heal going on with his A3. So Ultimate Death Knight, very, very annoying for me. I do have him in a very slow 6-piece stone skin. I do use him occasionally. He does counter some champions pretty hard, namely Rhodos, or like I said, any kind of single target ability from any enemy. He soaks it up, so he can be very good for that. Let's talk a little bit about the voids available for day 2. We got Neve, Spear of Nyrisa. One of my most recent void champions, I got her. She's incredible. She's probably the biggest game-changing pull I've pulled recently, and she's awesome. I love her. I use her quite frequently in live arena. Very tricky champion to play against and very impactful champion. The biggest thing about her is that her passive places block damage on your whole team at the start of the round, and it places block damage whenever her HP drops below 50%. Now, if her HP drops below 50% and she heals back over 50%, she can place block damage again when she drops below 50%. Now, there's a lot of little nuances to this ability, which makes her really, really strong and super annoying because you can constantly get this block damage back as long as she's taking damage, and then she's yo-yoing her HP back up over 50%. She also brings a ally protection block debuff on her A3 with a big heal as well. So you can kind of have her go low and then have her come in with the big heal to bring her back over 50%. This ability is really strong. You don't need to build her with full crit rate, just build her with a little bit of damage. But you have to get the enemy under 50%. Once that happens, she's going to be dealing some pretty good damage, and then she has a chance to get this, get the kill and then have a little bit of additional value here with the cooldown reset. Her A1 is really nice too, shutting down some attack-based champions by applying decreased attack as well. Really good champion for go second type teams. Like I said, super annoying to play against as well. After Nyrisa, we have another champion that I actually use very frequently, and it's going to be from the Lizardmen here. We have Sulfurion. I use him quite frequently in Arena. I think he's a very, very strong champion in all areas of the game. One of the most solid champions, good base speed. He's got HP in all battles here. He's got Team Revive on a 5-turn cooldown, but it's actually a 4-turn cooldown. And then he has this ability, which is really strong, 3-turn cooldown, AoE HP burn with the activation, and a shield. And the reason why this is so strong is because his passive actually gives you increased speed, increased turn meter, and then obviously some healing as well from the HP burns. So his passive actually generates a lot of value from this HP burn application here. So it's really, really strong. I use him basically to remove stone skin in arena. You give him the incinerate blessing. So I use him to remove a stone skin, and he's a turn meter booster as well. But like I said, you can use him in all areas. I've seen him in Chimera teams, Hydra, he's excellent, dungeons, like faction wars, he's just a big carry. But yeah, just a great champion overall. So he's a champion that I use a lot currently. And then the last champion on this list of Void champions is from the Orcs faction, a champion that I used to use a lot everywhere in the game, Warlord. I pulled this guy probably 3 years ago, and he basically boosted my account into the stratosphere. Allowed me to basically push Platinum Arena every week. This was before Mythicals came into the game. And yeah, Warlord was an absolute game changer for me in terms of PvP. He's got the AoE, full lockout here ability on his A3, and the chance to drop the turn meter, which is incredible. He's got a little bit of sustain here on the A2, block debuff, shield, and a little bit of healing. Yeah, he's a very, very good champion. I still have him, of course. but I honestly don't use him much anymore, mainly because I use Fabian for my lockout needs. Fabian brings a speed in all battles aura, which is really, really useful. And he brings, even more CC than Warlord does. Now, the big thing about Warlord is that he does have a turn meter drop here, which is really, really nice. And he's void affinity. So those are his advantages over somebody like Fabian. But yeah, there are some negatives here. Like I said, the speed in all battles is probably one of the bigger ones here. I do see Warlord still used as a lockout champion. He's still pretty solid for that role. So definitely don't underestimate the strength of Warlord. Anyways, just a quick little grade here for everybody. If you guys do not have any of these non-void legendaries, it's kind of hard to choose which one would really, really help you. I would say Freya would be probably top. Ultimate Death Knight is also very top, but it really depends. If you literally have nobody, like if your roster is so thin, Freya would probably be the biggest carry out of these non-voids. And for the voids, I would say Sulfurion is the biggest carry, just a general carry for most accounts. But you can definitely not go wrong with any of the void champions on day 2. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, there's going to be 2 progressive events during CVC. Each one of them will be lasting 24 hours. Now, these are just progressive events, guys. Big disclaimer here. You guys should not be chasing any of these champions if you guys are not swimming in shards. And even if you're swimming in shards, I highly recommend holding those shards for better events. Keep in mind that in October, we'll probably be facing another Titan event. We'll probably have another fusion at the end of September. And we'll probably have some kind of guarantee events for some of the Ninja Turtles characters that are in the game right now. So I would definitely suggest saving the resources for those types of guaranteed events. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think and what you guys are doing. Have a great day. Thanks for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys until the next one.